Ready. We blast to the channel. Oh, this is hilarious. I already started streaming, and then I muted myself to Discord so that you wouldn't hear me like clearing my throat. But then I didn't mute the stream. Feels bad. And then I also exited Discord as well. Okay, I'm a mess.
What'd you do?
To the first off, I accidentally clicked Discord and different computer, so it exited me from this voice channel. And then I muted myself to Discord so you wouldn't hear me clear my throat, even though I was already disconnected from the voice channel because I didn't know. And then I wasn't muted to stream, so just got all
So you're like,
my throat clearance. I was like, all right, but we're good though. We good. We are live.
Okay, live-roo.
We are stable, I believe. Waiting for this video to be live. My bitrate's good, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Cool, good stuff. So we're doing more scrim practice here. Except now it's going to be with the Pro Pugs game audio only video that we have recorded that people can practice. So joined by Lemon. How you doing?
Hey, too
Lemon
good.
Kiwi.
Lemon.
Do people shorten it to lemon, or is it always lemon kiwi?
Yeah, so people choose kiwi over lemon, even though
really?
lemon is like the first word.
What?
I guess it's like easier to say, but I'm like, eh.
That's curious. What do you have a preference?
No, I thought like lemon would make more sense. I kind of like lemon. It sounds like, oh, you're being such a lemon, like sounds funny. Where does like mushu beef come from though?
Oh my
did
God.
I ask you this already?
No, I don't think so. So I'll try to be quick. Counter-Strike 1.5 or something. Before 1.6. I remember there was an big update to 1.6 before, or after it had this name. Older brother had one called Mushu Tofu. I wanted to be cool, and so I was his little brother. So I said I'm little Mushu, and then I, 8th grade or so, I was like, I need to grow up. I need to have my own Mushu. So I became Mushu Beef.
And mushu is...
It's like a Chinese food.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. Tofu and beef. That'd be like the best duo caster thing ever.
Right? That'd be cool. Yeah, he does also some we'd always mess around and do voices and impressions together as brothers. So that's when we all kind of got our chops in being crazy with voices. Where it all started.
Cool.
All right, cool. Shall we get going?
So just 3, 2, 1, and then click, right?
Yeah. So on 1, we will click the play button.
Okay. On 1. Okay.
Yeah. Ready? And 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's playing. So do you want to fill? Should we fill this part?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting right into game, guys. We're going to have this San Francisco, or SF Crocs on the blue side versus Boston Boost, and we will be on Hollywood.
Oh, is this Hollywood? It looks like Route 66 to me.
Did I say Hollywood? I meant Route 66.
I was like, whoa, different video.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's take a look at both hero compositions so far with the generic dive, D.Va and Winston, with a combination of DPSs of Junkrat and McCree, with the following supports of Zenyatta and Ana. On the offensive side, they're opting for Winston and Roadhog for getting those initial poke and maybe hooks off of that high ground, which they will be expecting coming around this corner.
The hook will be very crucial here for picking off the enemy team off of the high ground. So we see Emil moving in with the Roadhog, trying to find some damage. We'll see how they engage. It'll be interesting to see if they actually, decide to try to do some flanks or just attack head-on along the payload.
And also that the red side here have a Tracer trying to go through cave and attack the back line. But offense now, or actually it's the defense dropping down onto the payload. You see Tonic here on the Winston trying to get these tanks down from the high ground. He's extremely low health, and here he's going to go down. Kill feed in favor of the blue team here as red team having to go for a reset.
Red team has to reset, just like you talked about. SF Crocs did a good job jumping down onto the payload and contesting there. As Boston Boost, Emil was not able to find any hooks to displace those enemies, so they're a little bit split there. They had the Winston jump onto the point, and then no hooks were being found as well, so there was no way Boston was going to be able to get any picks off of that engage.
Yeah, and the Roadhog can also not follow the Winston up, so solo diving, not the best against the other dive. So now Emil is switching to the D.Va, will be able to have that mobility to join his fellow Winston. Now targeting this Junkrat, who should be going down. He's about 1 health, goes into cave, and there he goes. As the following rest of the team are going down there, Soldier and Winston and Zenyatta are down for the red side, most likely having to go for a reset with only 2 players remaining.
Now, this is going to be the change they needed. SF Crocs bringing that D.Va can go together and go dive with that Winston. So Half Cool and D.Va will be jumping in as well, as we see Snilio and Tvik with a little bit of duel on the back line there. Tvik will win that out, but it is buying time for Boston Boost to push the point.
Tvik has been doing a fantastic job, able to burst down and even dealing with the Tracer in the backline. No trouble at all as blue team stacking up those ultimates. Every single player has it ready. Tire is going to be initiated here by Tvik. Let's see what he's able to find.
Tire will go in, gets a lot of damage down, but again, everyone was just bumped up there with that sound barrier, but that's going to be Dempsey getting the Deadeye here on the defense. So that's going to be the Soldier going down as the rest of the point here. We see the self-destruct goes out. Will they be able to find anything? Is able to find Tvik, so that's a lot of damage from the back line eliminated. Now, Boston might be able to push here.
Only 2 ultimates remaining for the defensive side, while Cranks looking for attack visor, and we hear Transcendence being forced out from the side of red team, where D.Va and Winston. Now the D.Va bomb on the point should be able to distance these players out. Winston bubble to also not, I guess, protect the D.Va or the Winston onto the payload. Red team itching their way closer to the final point. Only 1 remaining from the blue side as D.Va getting cleaned up, and red team get their first point.
Red side were able to push through finally because of the way they dislodged the blue team. So SF Crocs have to fall back here on the defense, but this is going to be the dive of the tanks coming together. That's going to be taking out Boombox as well. So they're getting a lot of space here for this payload to push. It has already gotten through the door and will be uncontested at least for the next bit.
Staggering those couple of support players as the offensive team makes their way through the long street, where we're seeing some changes out of the side of blue team. Tvik from the Junkrat onto the Genji, having even more mobility and more dive to fit with the D.Va bomb, who's getting shot through and actually picks up the Winston and Genji from the right side, and they haven't stopped yet.
Emil, that's going to be the 3rd self-destruct kill so far in this game here, and we'll be finishing off the counterpart, Mini D.Va, in the air in style. Actually, she's just got ejected here. So really great self-destructs are allowing the team to really push up. And look again, these tanks are being so aggressive, but it holds back the defense from being able to contest the point.
Here, Half Cool. It's going to be a little bit of trouble. That did not have enough time to pop that Primal Rage, which of course extended his life and maybe contested a little bit more. But like you said, they are really wanting to hold this top cave area where most likely these players are coming from. However, there is a Genji on the point. Primal Rage is popped by Tonic, but he does go down as a lot of players are low health, forcing that Transcendence out of the red team. This is now forcing the Transcendence out of the opposite blue team. D.Va bomb on the point, and the payload wants to be captured. Still contested here now. D.Va.
That's gonna be a third self-destruct coming through there. Not able to find anything, but gets the D-Mech there, and that's going to be the critical kill because now there's no one left here for blue side to defend and contest on this point, as Winston will be staggered as well.
We're seeing the switch of Boombox onto the Mercy for the Resurrect and Valkyrie, and also Dempsey now switching onto the Tracer, matching now the full dive composition. Mini Kunga onto the Ana, as the red team sticking to their usual compositions with no ultimates going into the next fight.
Only ultimate up is going to be Tvik with the Dragon Blade here. So we'll to see where it decides to pop that as blue team are finally starting to contest. That's going to be the Dragon Blade coming out from Tavik here. Is able to find Snilio and Huni. That is going to be the dash resets. Getting 3 as well. Cranks will fall. That's going to be a full team wipe there from one ultimate Tavik, showing the prowess on the Genji.
One ultimate for the entire team wipe, and now Red will have to reset, decide how they want to take this. They have the good composition. They got Cranks for the long range sort of hero. They got Snillo on the Tracer to hopefully get something in the backline. Want to focus that on the Mercy, and the Honey close to the Transcendence should be able to nullify the next ultimate that comes through. Tavik back onto the Junkrat. He did a fantastic job here on the Genji. Diva Bomb on the point, able to find 2. One of them being the supports, as both supports now down for the blue side. A little bit of trouble having to retreat and disengage back into the spawn, where red team will be able to get a little bit of distance, as Snillo says hello with a pulse bomb into the spawn, but not finding the kill he wants.
Emil with the clutch self-destructs. That's going to be the 5th one on the game. And this is going to allow, look how much right now, the tanks are able to push up and keep everyone in their spawn here, but they do see the Tracer on the high ground going to be taken out by Tonic, jumping right in here, and so now it's completely scattered. SF Crocs look to be closing this quite comfortably.
Tonic trying to stay alive, Diva Bomb on the point. Will it be able to find a kill? No, it does not. As we head into third person, we'll see this sort of how Blue are going to try and buy themselves a little bit more time, and they're doing it with Tavik on the Mei. And Diva Bomb, or not Diva Bomb, but Diva goes down. Cranks with the attack visor able to find 2, but this should be good night here for blue team.
So Crocs trying to get back here. Half a cool, needing to kite around, but jumping away from the point, knew it was a lost cause. Would surely have gone down there. Is finally, after having some struggles on the first point, we're able to just dislodge the defense, and then they're never able to get together. Saw on that second point as well, SF Crocs had a lot of ultimates to use, but they were just never in a place where they could use them effectively.
Of course, and the hero pool that Tavik is able to switch to, whenever he pops his ultimate, you see him from the Junkrat to, I believe we saw some Genji, and whatever they need, they're able to switch to. And, you know, their initial Roadhog pick didn't really work out, and ever since then, they've been steamrolling. As we head into the second, or I guess a rotation of sides.
Will be the blue team looking to respond. They'll need to try to match the pace. And 1 minute and 10 seconds left is not the craziest time, but again, the way they're able to close out so convincingly is more about the momentum. And we do see a different change here, a different look than we saw last round, but one we're not one that is not uncommon here. We have the Sombra, Snilio bringing that out, and will be on the defense, so will be critical to see how well the teams play around the hacked health pack.
And that adds a little bit extra healing on top of the Lucio and Zenyatta, which have limited healing, let's say, in comparison to a Mercy, Ana, and now the new Mora coming out, which I'm surprising hasn't been brought out yet, with so many walls to be able to bounce those damage orbs out. But defense opting to now go with a Hanzo, most likely get the sound barrier, see what they're going up against around the corner. We'll have to see if Boombox wants to also stay with that. But 3 DPS, most likely we'll have to switch to a tank, or actually a healer. They'll need a second healer, as Mini Kunga will have a hard time on Zenyatta all by himself.
Boombox likely looking for just the Sonic Arrow to scout out and make sure there's no cheese. We do see Snilio's looking to hide in the background. That's going to be trying to get an early kill onto the Zenyatta, but not able to find that. But still, that's going to be a lot of damage, and now charging up that ultimate.
Yeah, Mini Boombox now on the Lucio give their tanks even more mobility, as they are running pretty much full dive. Tavik onto the Genji, looking to build that blade early into the fight, as Diva poking from the cable have to disengage. But here, Tavik is going to initiate the fight and push forward.
Big jumping around. That's going to be such an early EMP there, but it looks like it doesn't even matter, as SF Crocs look to push in even more. The DPS duo able to combine and clear a lot of people off the point. Tavik does go down, but still making way for the rest of the team to push the payload.
One DPS down, as half will have to get healed up, but looks like the blue did win that initial fight. Cranks onto the Tracer. Was the soldier in the last map doing a good job with the Tracer battle at the back. And of course, that was an early EMP, but not enough to win them the fight, as we'll see if she'll opt to still stay onto the Sombra going into the next fight. Possibly hacking the health pack going around, but there's still one last fight. Looks like Dempsey gets the double with the pulse bomb.
Dempsey just running circles around the defending team, and look at that, the kill feed just completely full of Dempsey. As this duel, again, this dive, how can you even deal with Dempsey on the Tracer blinking around you, and then Tvik just being able to dash in, and just so many ways you have to be looking for to defend, and Boston Boost having trouble with setting their battle lines, their line of scrimmage to be able to fight forward from.
And we only really seen one ultimate from the side of blue, and that's Dempsey's double pulse bomb, finally earning themselves the first point. Also being extremely aggressive, trying to get at their backline. Should be able to get the Zenyatta, and he does connect, now having to disengage with only 44 health, leaving the D.Va and the tanks to finish off the rest of those kills. Now Vinny having a hard time having to go back to the payload. As D.Va bomb now onto the point, distancing these players, no kills. As we head into maybe a Dragon Blade out of Genji, but that's Zenyatta's Transcendence being forced out.
Yeah, Transcendence for SF Crocs on the attack here, so Tvik still holding on to that Dragon Blade, wanting to draw out the Transcendence from the opposite side is Boston Boost. They are holding on to one last ultimate, but it could be the one that saves them on the point here, but that's going to be the kill, the great pick onto Huni, so this is now an opportunity for Tvik to use that Dragon Blade.
Is that a D.Va bomb going off? No, the EMP comes in, canceling everybody's abilities. Tvik also with the Dragon Blade, able to find the Sombra and the Winston. As blue team are on a roll, no ultimates left except the Primal Rage here by Halfcool, who actually goes down with it. And they're going to still try and push this payload with the remaining members, as Red still wondering if they're going to keep that Sombra. Looks like they are, with now the long range, or sorry, the long hallway coming up into the third point. Might be a little bit more difficult. They're going to try and contest this one more time, but Halfcool is going to pop that Primal Rage and just punch everybody and not let them. And even a hack tries to go in, but did not connect.
Halfcool is able to keep them in that upper tunnel with the Primal Rage, just as they were done on the defense when they're on the defensive side. And now we see this. Now the battle lines are truly split up here. Self-destruct is going to zone out from the fight, but that was to Vix anyways, or Vinatra's, and they'll be able to cruise into the second point now. 4 minutes left to go, and they're on pace to beat Boston Boost time.
Now just a bit of a fight here in the backline of Tracer and Genji. Tvik having to disengage, and with not that much health left, is now the D.Va, or not the D.Vas, but the diving tanks trying to help that Genji out, not lose their DPS player too early into the fight. Now going around the corner, there's a lot of ultimates, and Boombox just earning himself the Sound Barrier and also the Transcendence, so double support ultimates being earned, and you might want to use that maybe against the D.Va Bomb, and here it is coming onto the point. Sound Barrier getting activated to try and save a couple players. No players going down from the D.Va Bomb.
Boston Boost, they're able to use that self-destruct. They pushed everyone out of a position that was advantageous for the attack, but now it's opening it up. Dempsey is going to get taken out by Scenario on the back line, but Vinatra here holding this front line very strongly as the reinforcements will favor SF Crocs.
Looking for a Deadeye out of Snilla, most likely going to try and occupy that high ground, but it's going to be the tanks initiating this fight on the front line of Winston versus Winston's. Crank's also in the back line. Here comes the Deadeye. Can't find anybody. A reflection from Genji sort of delays that, and he's not able to find anybody, especially with the D.Va jumping in his face and absorbing most of those bullets. D.Va Bomb now another one onto the point. Still not able to find anyone, but creating that distance is exactly what blue team needs, as they're having a really hard time making distance here, as Vinner are very close to being dead, looking for the D.Va Bomb. And here it is, pushed out into the spawn.
Dempsey just fighting with this tank on the sideline, but this is really good for the attack here, because if you're keeping the Winston away from the point, that might be worth, as we see Boston Boost having to retreat back to their own spawn, as Havoc has the Primal Rage ready to go. Is going to be using that to hold them back into their own spawn, as the rest of the team is able to win the battle on the point.
The Lucio did get out, but Tvik's going to try and keep him at bay, as another Primal Rage pop from the side of Red, as the support's trying to stay alive in this sense. Tvik finally goes down by the side of D.Va, and now Red are in a good position. Both tanks are alive, just chasing down these last couple players of blue, and they hold it for now, but only a couple meters left. We'll have to see how this next team fight goes, as the Genji Blade earned by Tvik should be able to make waves, and also the Transcendence out of Mini Kunga should be able to nullify any ultimates coming from the side of Red, which we're only looking at Emil with currently the D.Va self-destruct.
That was SF's Crocs' opportunity. Saw the ultimate come out from Half-a-Cool, holding them on that left side spawn. But unfortunately, Boston Boost were not able to clear off the point in order to push that off. So They're wishing they had that play back. If they had been able to finalize the kills on the point faster, they would have surely won that in a really good time here. But we do see the engage. Again, they're going to jump in and try it again, starting with the Dragon Blade.
Oh, he's solo health, having to disengage, and the Diva Bomb goes down. Able to cut down the Diva before she gets back into Meg Transcendence. Forced out of the team of blue, and this should be able to secure it, but Winston wants to dive in one last time. It's T-Vic versus the Winston, and everybody's targeting poor old Winston, and the kill feed is all in favor of Team Blue as Pulse Bomb goes down for Dempsey. Getting some damage down, and they brought it home.
Great push and second engage there. SF Croc's not feeling the pressure from having failed the previous attack. So we're going to be going into the second map. All right. Nice.
It's hard to do first. It was mostly first person, so it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I'm trying to think about it, like if this is
Traveling to Eichenwald.
how many situations you'll be in like this.
Yeah, because I thought you said that like they'll always have like a first person camera, but then they'll also have God mode as like a second monitor, right? So
I mean, for the pro side of it as well. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of like scanning the screen and then looking at ultimates at the same time as well. And so that way, if like a Diva Bomb comes out, then might be able to anticipate which side it's coming out from. But yeah, you're definitely right. It's definitely challenging. But I think it's still doable. Yeah, I guess. What
it's
did you
doable.
feel?
It's just not.
Yeah.
I'm not used to it, so I'm
I gotcha.
narrating over maybe people I don't necessarily look at,
Okay.
or not look at, but like we're going over the front line most of the time, so you're not really seeing what's happening in the back line, or we're going at backline fights and then you're not seeing what's over there. And I guess my casting style is more into the positional stuff, and then if I see an ultimate come out, then I go in first person with them.
Yeah.
And then I'm hearing Diva Bombs go off, and then I'm like, oh and then I'm like, oh, it's a Diva Bomb, and then I don't really know where it's coming from. I think I'm getting used to it, trying to look at ultimates before they go off, but it's and it's not that your spectating's bad. I'm just not like used to first person casting.
Yeah, there are also times too when it pops into like out of the first person view because of it was like weird because I was on EU that introduced me with the lag as well. Some of my commands weren't going in as quickly, so cool. But yeah, all right, cool. Do you want to bring us in to Eichenwald?
All right. Map number 2 underway. Blue team, or actually this is tied for some reason, but we're seeing finally the introduction of Mora. Healing, sort of area of healing, as red team already breached the choke point under bridge with the composition of a Roadhog and Reinhardt. They're all extremely low, and Mora's gonna have a hard time healing all those people with only a Zenyatta as her second healer.
Mora able to keep everyone up and healthy there for the first attack, but SF Crocs is able to fall back and use the corner to their advantage as Boston Boost overextended just a little bit. Again, that shield went down from Tonic, so as soon as the shield went down, SF Crocs were able to deal the damage they needed to find the points, but that's going to be already the sound barrier coming out from Boston Boost, but in reply, T-Vic has the tires. Going to be taking out Snilio as well. As soon as he has the Coalescence from the backline here, Coalescence from both sides. The Sonic finds a huge Earth Shatter on the point here, but will they be able to convert the damage to kills?
And we hear Attack Visor coming from the side of blue, but it might be a little bit too late and probably a waste of it, as he was the last player left and no chance that he's able to win the team fight onto his side, especially with the Reinhardt shield in his face, taking up all the damage. But Red finally secured themselves the payload, going into the castle, or I guess the outside castle phase. They're gonna go in with a Deadeye and Cranks also with the Whole Hog. You can see the blue team already opting to take that high ground with the Reinhardt stuck on the bottom, but at least the Junkrat spam from T-Vic should be able to earn himself a tire pretty quickly here.
Ultimate advantage moving into the next stage of this point, but they're getting all these grenades just rained down on them from above, courtesy of T-Vic, as the shield is already down to half health, but still, it's going to be the Reinhardt holding strong in front of the point here, and we do see Reinhardt, of course, on the other side as well. Vinatra on the defense is close to that Earth Shatter.
Oh, Oh, and he hits the Earth Shatter, but gets shut down immediately. And also, the problem with Red Side is they have no mobile characters to actually challenge anybody on the high ground. So Tvic's able to stay up there and even earns himself the Riptire. Coming in, should be able to get behind the shield, but the Sound Barrier nullifies the damage from the tire, not able to actually kill anybody. But yeah, red team have no mobility to actually challenge anybody on the high ground, but they're still making waves as ultimates being wasted from the side of blue, not actually able to secure any kills.
The self-sufficient tank line, as we have the Hog with his take a breather, as well as Huni's the area of effect heal with the Moira, is able to keep them alive and well against the damage of Junkrat that normally shuts down teams, and that's going to be the hook that they're looking for as they're able to pull off Dempsey off of the high ground, and it's just no one here able to contest the point, but actually no, the tanks from SF Crocs are able to jump in and drive them back. That's a nice defense and a much needed stop there from the momentum.
Still sticking onto the high ground. A little bit of dancing coming out of Vinny, but taking advantage of the full dive, completely wiping out the Boston Boost. Still opting to stay with the Reinhardt and the shield composition, but they're going to be met by Winston already on the low ground and going actually on the outside part, joining them onto the high ground. We'll have to see how this goes in the close range. Now the Reinhardt shield is down. The Graviton comes out, only trapping 2 members, and a pin goes in. Able to find Tvic. Force is cut down. Transcendence being forced out of Team Blue. Reinhardt having to jump down, even with the Graviton and the pin, not able to secure themselves the fight.
Tvic with a really good concussion mine knocked everyone out, just displaced them, the whole team together that wanted to stay as a death ball, but unfortunately they're dislodged, and when you're dislodging a death ball and making them scatter like that, you're going to be able to pick them off, and SF Crocs on the defense were able to finalize those kills.
Another try is now they got the D.Va, a little bit more mobility than the Zarya after using that Graviton. She's already going to get D-Mech to herself along with the opposite D.Va, or the counter D.Va. But full dive on the side of blue, you can see red are slowly transitioning into mobile characters themselves, and you would think McCree would have an not the best time against dive, but he's able to stun and protect himself a little bit. But now Zekor is going to get heavily staggered, getting chased down by this Winston. At least finds himself the health pack, and his fellow support player finally gets cut down.
Another big stagger and more time on the clock for SF Crocs, and with another Riptire here from Tvic, having to sneak around the side. Again, there's so much time with his Riptire, so he can be very patient. And we'll go to this back line, is able to find 2 kills. Huni and Tana going down. It is disaster. Boston Boost cannot find any momentum here on their side.
The high ground advantage for blue has proven to be quite difficult for red to get through when they really need that Rhine shield to protect themselves from Tvic's spam grenades, and Emil needs to decide if he wants to either protect the fellow Rhine or try and dive and maybe try and knock those players down from the high ground, or now opting for the triple tank, having Cranks to be able to hook those players down, trying another doorway this time where they're going to go down the hallway, where Dempsey, switching on to the soldier, should be able to provide some long-range hits.
Trying to make way for the Deadeye as well, but look how just all the damage is able to be dumped in here. Boston Boost just picking different angles, but they're all in hallways, so that Moira Biotic Orb is going to be doing a lot of damage, but Bigger Shatter is only going to knock down half a cool though, but the rest of the team, they're able to reinforce here, and it's going to be the Transcendence coming out from the blue side. Will they be able to stay alive long enough to get the kills on Boston Boost?
Every single entry they've tried has not been working out. Now only the D.Va and Moira left for the final cleanups, where they should try and just go for a reset, and finally they do go down there as D.Va decides to jump off the map. But all the different ways, and also going through that narrow hallway, they risk themselves getting team wiped by a tire that could be coming in, especially with Tvic now earning himself the tire. Should not be opting to go any skinny hallways, because I could see Tvic popping that, or of course, if they go through main entry, then they got to deal with Dempsey's tack visor on the high ground or wherever he decides, and D.Va Bomb preemptively in the middle of the map. Not sure why, but trying to distance these players off, I imagine.
Big DPS switches here from Boston Boost. Both switched off, but they're not able to get on the point. They wanted to get the kill on Tvic before they tried to pile on the point. They know that would have been disaster just jumping on and taking damage from grenades, as Boston Boost only able to push it up through point 1 and halfway to point 2, as the Crocs now will respond on the offense.
It was difficult to say what they needed to switch, but I believe the Reinhardt should have probably went Winston and tried to go dive against dive. They attempted the triple tank with Cranks, with the Diva, Reinhardt, and Roadhog, and it still wasn't enough to either hook them down or push them down as Diva or whatever. The Reinhardt just could not sustain all the damage coming from the high ground. Of course, now they get spread apart and then picked one by one, and coordination going to that second phase of Eichenwald, it's just not working out for that team, as now sides being switched. We'll have a couple seconds for the teams to pick what they want to go off the rip, but what are you expecting here?
Well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Junkrat is strong on both sides of the maps here, on defense or attack. Again, this is the swap. They're going to be resetting the lobby just so that, because it's scrims, you want to be able to push through and take it all the way to the end if you can, and not just win based on your progress versus the other people. So you see the tribute there for Dennis Hawkella, or Internet Hulk. So looking forward to Overwatch League. I think some teams have very much planned to might doing something special while we're waiting in spawn, but already we see the defense now shaping up for Boss and Boost, Orisa and Hog. Lemon, how do you feel about this combination here for a front line?
Well, they got the sort of shield regeneration from Orisa that can actually be sometimes better than Ryan, because Ryan, he has to put his shield down to actually recover, while Orisa can just keep spamming those shields. So sometimes it can be actually more efficient, especially in long-range battles, because Fire Strike you can only do so many times, where Orisa just has almost a turret or a Bastion gun to deal with it long range. And also they got the shield bursting hero of Roadhog, also self-efficient with the healing, but can also hook them on the other side of the shield and then pin that enemy player onto the other side of the Orisa shield and go for the kill. But also with the combination of cranks on the Junkrat, so much shield spam damage. We'll see how Red does as they opt towards the left side, already inching themselves closer to the point.
Red side, like you said, going left here when they're losing the shield, having to wait for that to recover. Well, meanwhile, on the other side, Orisa can just pop a new shield there with about half the health of the Reinhardt. And they're moving on to the point, though. This Reinhardt looking for a big pin if possible.
Let's see what he's able to do, getting a Fire Strike in. We have to keep an eye on half is cool. half it cool, but onto the Roadhog, who's trying to inch himself towards the corridor on the left side, but taking way too much damage, has to disengage. Waiting for Dempsey also to get back into the fight, and now that Reinhardt's shield is a little bit low, they want to take a breather, get all the healing up, give Mora her coalescence from all the healing. And this will be a perfect time to watch that coalescence, because not only the healing on her own team going through this choke point, but also putting damage in the enemy team, and her range on that ultimate is so effective, as we hear Tyre come out from the side of Cranks. Let's see who can find, going for the tanks, and actually picks up both tanks.
Big now on the upper ground. It was able to kill the soldier. Is now, again, this is so important for the ultimates. What is the order that they're being used? Both teams opening up with the Riptire, but Tavik finding the better one, getting a double kill. But Boston Boost still holding strong, 3 on the point, as Menashe will come back, and this is going to be a lot of tank and a lot of healing on the point.
Whole hog from both Roadhogs. Obviously going to be pushing this Reinhardt shield to almost be broken or either pushed off the map, but it's going to be Red winning the whole hog fight. And most of the kills on their side is going into the streets phase of Eichenwald. Cranks will be on the high ground. You're going to have to look for his Tyre, maybe opening up the kills into the next fight. And Vin having the Earth Shatter. Actually, there's not really anybody except the Orisa to stop the Earth Shatter. So we'll have to see how that goes.
2 hogs entered, 1 hog left, as we see Boston switching on to the Diva to complement that Orisa. That combination not quite working out for them, but the Cranks here just trying to find something on the back line. No, but then has to wake up and deals with Tavik with a quick concussion mine, so great response. So we do see the defensive side already contesting onto the point and pushing SF Crocs back to their spawn. They're going to have to sit back and figure out how they can even get out of this, but they do have a lot more ultimates on their side to work with.
This is going to be a tricky position to really hold, because they can go through the back door and flank behind them, so Blue could easily get pinched into this sense. And now the Earth Shatter coming in, and even Bongas or the Orisa ultimate for the extra damage. You can see the kill feed going in favor of Blue. Trades going back and forth. Emil getting an important kill there onto the Diva, and also Mora going down to the side of Red. So Blue holding down for now, but this is going to be a risky position to hold, of course, if they decide to go for a flank.
They're giving so much advantage to these attackers because of the spawn advantage, but they don't even care because they have the Junkrat, as Emil will have the big self-destruct possibly here, is able to zone out from the point, but you see how it's scattering the rest of the team. Boston Boost holding on to that Transcendence just to hold strong here. They want to win this fight.
And the Transcendence being forced out of the side of Blue and Boombox with the counter sound barrier. So double supports coming out as fights being spread out in different areas of the map. As Red finally going from behind, and this is where they were able to win that fight, and exactly how risky Blue's position was, being too pushed up, overextended, and having Red come around from behind them, which is exactly what happened. But now they need to get on that high ground before Cranks and friends, especially Snillo, is able to set up, but Snillo goes down early in the fight. Red occupying that high ground, now just need to stop them from coming out of the front door of the castle.
Red team able to push back the rest of the defense, and you see here they would have won against Boston Boost as they're going to be coming in Cranks with that Riptire, as well as the self-destruct here, just clearing everyone out of the point. They got to hide from all the explosions, as there you see now, as they are scattered, the Boston Boost are finally taking advantage of that fact, whereas last time they just weren't able to focus on the same targets and got picked off themselves.
Yeah, a few ultimates going down as well. Cranks had a tire that I think got shot down, and even Snillow's old tac visor didn't make that much of an impact here for the side of Red. As Blue trying to hold on to the main part of the map, and Red deciding, or trying to coordinate the proper dive, and here it's going to be initiated.
Boston Boost just have one ultimate to their name on the defense, the Valkyrie, so see if they maybe play aggressively, then use the Valkyrie to res someone in an open position, because again, the problem with SF Crocs with this opening has been that they've just been getting scattered and not able to focus on the right people here, as we already see Vinatra jumping onto that upper ground to just try to clear it out, but where's the rest of the team?
Oh my god, the Primal Rage coming out, and now onto the high ground, where Cranks, I think, got resurrected there by Honey or Huni, which that was a good Diva Bomb earlier from the side of Red to cut down Cranks from the high ground. Attack visor from Dempsey gets dove there by the Winston, eating that Primal Rage, and unfortunate positioning out of him.
SF Crocs need to do a better job of coordinating on these dives, because they're using their ultimates to try to get picks on dislodging the team, but SF Crocs not able to find, just be able to coordinate the damage. But they do find a pick, Tonic pretty much giving that up for free, so we'll see if that is what they needed to be able to push this point to number 2.
Still trying to make distance with Kalo, and it's been a while since he's been able to do anything, but the Genji Blade coming out of Tvik forces the Transcendence out of the side of Blue. Diva Bomb now forcing Tvik to retreat even more, and it's a complete nullification of that ult, and even Cranks finishes off the kill, but the battle still rages on. Onto the payload.
Uh-oh, this is going to be Dempsey with a huge flank. He's able to take out that soldier, but here comes the Riptire from Cranks to try to make sure no one else is on the point. It's going to be driving back the Zenyatta, so this now is a very big opening here for them to be able to push through, but they're having to use these ultimates, and they're still contesting on the point. Boston is getting back on the point just as fast as Crocs are.
An overtime phase. Dempsey finally finishes off that Winston player in just one remaining. So they're going to either decide to contest this one, Pulse Bomb from Dempsey, not able to find anyone, but this another Diva Bomb, so using 2 ultimates to try and chase down 2 players might have been wasteful or a little bit greedy, but nonetheless they're able to get the second point. Heading into castle phase, we'll be looking at seeing, I guess the Junkrat got switched off as well, and we're seeing Genji.
That ultimate seemed like it might not have been necessary, but what it did was prevent any possibility for the rest of the team on the defense to be able to reinforce. You've seen that so many times. Someone stays alive with just a sliver of health and it gives an opening, but here, a self-destruct looking to go on the back line, takes out 2 for SF Crocs.
And that's horrible too. They're running single healer and triple DPS, so losing your only healer is not the best, and even Emil and Cranks getting the complete team kill. They're holding it for now, 50 seconds remaining for Blue. Or sorry, for Red to make an impact. Hopefully getting a second healer on. There goes Boombox onto the Lucio. That's exactly what they need.
The Diva Bombs are making so much space for their teams, and they're living and dying by that. They're looking to engage way out in front of the point. As Tvik will pop the Dragon Blade here and is able to find kills, but not before Boston Boost are able to find them in reply. The team's not able to follow Tvik into the battle, and they're just getting picked off.
Not much time remaining, as this is the last team fight here for Team Red, and Dempsey looking to at least extend it into overtime, but he's just eating so much damage and barely alive himself, trying to get that health pack, and the rest of the team looking to at least get through the doorway. Now half a school exactly needs to go onto the Roadhog for the self-healing, can also take a lot of damage. Transcendence being forced out of the side of blue as we head into overtime.
Asif needs to stay together here. They need to use your mobility to stay together as a unit and stay topped off. But now, Boombox has a very critical ultimate. That's a sound barrier able to be used, and that's going to be used right now as they want to make sure that they're able to clean up this fight here. Tavik takes the front line as the Genji is able to find the reflect kills, as well as Half Cool also contributing from the back line.
Okay, there needs to be no room for mistakes. Heading into overtime, they're trying to occupy all that space. Even the Roadhog from the side of red going towards the right side, looking for a lucky hook, and also Vin, maybe with a lucky fire strike or lucky pin or something, but the Genji blade coming inside of blue forces out the Transcendence as well, cutting down these members from red. It's not going to be enough, and now he might actually get he was going to get picked, is actually able to disengage, finally eats the hammer from the side from Reinhardt. His primal rage being popped from blue to keep these players alive, even in the sound barrier, but it might just not be enough as overtime dwindles down, and they were not on the point.
Yeah, they're trying to win, and unfortunately overtime ticked down too fast for them to be able to reply, but again, would have been a win anyways, but unfortunate they're not able to clutch it out at the end, especially with the Transcendence to counter the Dragon Blade.
Cool.
Nice. Okay,
yeah, it's hard to be hype. I just don't see the... Because usually, like, I go in third person, I can see their positioning, and then when they'll pop the ultimate, so I can build up to it. So, like, if I see a Genji being, like, super in their face, and I can be like, oh, here comes a blade. Or a Diva Bomb, like, shooting up into the air. I'm like, okay, Diva Bomb. But, like, it's almost saying the ultimates after they happen is awkward for me, rather than setting myself up like I'm used to, but...
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
Is there any scrim we can find, or, like, someone, like... a pickup scrim or something, or
yeah, so I didn't get any word back from the other person. See what else is available. Yeah, I guess I'm thinking about now for these scrims if it's better just to stay in third person so that people can do that.
Yeah, if you do the no voice ones, it'd probably be better to have just third person, maybe, or the god mode or whatever you want to call it.
Or free cam, yeah.
So it gives like whoever the ability to either do play-by-play or color. I know it's not as hype because it's not first-person Genji Blade, but for someone who wants to do a bit of color, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, I totally get that. I think because I've done a lot of practice where it's just I'm looking at the same screen as what the audience would be seeing, and only that I feel a little bit more comfortable on it. So,
oh yeah, true.
One thing I was thinking about was, what if? So we could even review the VOD we did right now. I think there's still, it sounds like what you're feeling like that wasn't optimal. Like it wasn't the best situation for you to be able to be casting in. And so I don't know, it'd be worth it. One thing I was thinking about as we're going through it, that was, what if we went through and kind of watched a game, and then we're kind of just like talking about it as we're watching it, because I think it's interesting.
Like as a replay?
Yeah. So like watching, so what we could do is like, we could look at our last VOD. Like I can restart the stream and then we can look at how it went, and then like pick out things that we're doing well or things we need to improve on, but then also reads on the game. Like, oh, okay, given the information we had, like we should be talking about maybe the ultimates going into this and setting that up a little bit more, because there's still a lot of information on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? I don't know if I'll be able to find a scrim right now. I didn't get any replies from people.
Okay.
So yeah, that's unfortunate. The other person didn't respond. Maybe they're just super focused on preparing for the game. But what do you want to do?
No, I know I didn't cast that well because it was sort of getting used to thinking more what could be going on into the rest of the fight. I don't know. It was weird. Just I'm not like, I don't ever cast over Winston's. Like I don't like, I'll mention if they have a primal rage on because they're more like stall-y sort of characters. I'll focus on DPS and overall positioning and kill feed. So I had to focus more on kill feed and ultimates than what I'm used to, I guess, looking at. So I don't know if it'd be worth looking at. I don't know. I know I kind of repeated some stuff as crutchy stuff because I didn't. And it's hard to build hype because I have to go instant hype as soon as the ultimate happens because I can't see the position of it before it happens, I guess.
Yeah, I think. Okay, no, I totally understand.
Do you have a
I
VOD that would be more third person, you think? Or
no,
like more
all of
God
them,
mode?
I'm observing like this.
Okay.
So
Maybe we can find one on YouTube or something.
I don't think people would be having that.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, if you so I guess kind of our options right now is that I have more games that we can try, or we can watch these games again without our casting, and like talk about what we're seeing on the screen, right? Like what should we be talking about? Almost like if we were to go and take notes on the game before we were casting itself.
Okay. So the
Um,
same game or something
yeah, so we
else?
can do the same game or a future game. Because I think there's something, well, just like as a note, and that I think there's a lot of information that you can still draw on, and that in order to get better at casting at this or get more comfortable at casting at this, and but at the same time, I don't know if that's necessarily useful to work on, right? Like if you're casting either in person or online, then you I don't know if it's necessarily more likely that you can have your own God mode feed, or if it's going to be you might be in a situation where you're casting like this as well. So this would be like kind of worst case scenario. You're at the whim of what the observer is looking at. You know, ideally they'd be able to hear you, so they're able to adjust and look at whoever you're talking about. And this is kind of after the fact. So this is kind of almost like worst case scenario spectating. So
Mhm.
if I think it might be worth it to go back through and listen to what we were casting, but in addition, so critique the casting, but also critique like we should have been talking about this instead.
Okay. So like with our voices in it or without?
Yeah. I think we can listen to both, right,
Okay.
and try to go back into our mindset for that as well. And the only reason why this wouldn't be worth it was that if you feel like the casting was that much more subpar because you didn't feel comfortable in this, because the alternative would be either we can stop and then get back together when we actually have a scrim going, or we can continue trying to practice cast just to get reps in. So there's kind of like three options. I see it like just stop and wait for next time we get a scrim. Review it with our casting so we can critique what we're reading on the play as well as what we're saying, or just keep going with the next set of video.
I want to be able to adapt to whatever it is on the screen. So
Yeah,
if there is a chance that I have to do whatever contenders or what even non-contenders, like where you just have a VOD or you just have first person only what the stream sees, like I want to be able to be flexible with that too. Because I've had to do like cast offs where you only get a video and then you're just like casting over whatever you see. So I should be able to
gotcha.
cast whatever, right? So
Yeah.
why don't we maybe do another now that I'm warmed up a little bit?
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we can go. We
I'll
can.
feel better about it.
Yeah, we can definitely go on. So this one it stalls out for the rest of it. So we should go to the next video. So if you hover over the video, you'll be able to see. Hover over the upper
Yeah,
left of the player.
the fourth video, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, because I felt we were out of sync too. Because I think I changed my quality because I felt like it was
Okay.
grainy a little bit.
Yeah, it
So
is grainy. It is grainy. This is not 10. I don't know why it says 1080 720. For some reason when I upload it, it has more compression on it because it's a big file. And so actually what ends up happening is I think when you stream it, it actually uploads as better quality than not, because I uploaded to both YouTube and Twitch and they had similar quality where it was down from even what I was recording. So kind of stinks, but it is a little bit green.
Because I have those VODs from when I spectated, which might have. Actually, it'll probably be a lot of first person too. And we could have just muted it. Or there's no VODs you can think of that were more global, but we can just mute it. Or Actually, muting might
Yeah,
not be good
people wouldn't
either.
be spectating in that way. It's like everything that would be online would be spectated.
Oh my god, I have an idea.
Okay.
I used to record VODs for Denial,
Okay.
and there's probably just comms in it, but we would just have to mute. Let me see what it looks like. Where are my fucking videos? I hope I didn't delete it.
Would they be online already?
They're on my YouTube. Yeah, they're just
Oh,
unlisted.
okay. Nice.
Did I delete it? Where is it? I don't know how to use YouTube, so I'm a little retarded. Denial OW scripts. See if you're able to use or see this. I think it's unlisted. See, yeah, this is all global.
Okay. Yeah, we can.
Let's see what the quality is.
A little bit.
720. Oh, maybe this first couple videos are shitty. Let's go into the later videos.
I don't block. Gun's lit. No gun hits or Reaper.
I'm hurt. I'm hit. I'm 50 health in the back.
They're lit! Oh my god, the hell is
It's
that?
not really good quality.
I'm gonna,
but
ooh, it's a good stun.
Trying
Nice.
to make it for you. So.
Oh my fucking
The comms are hilarious.
Okay.
really?
Yeah, I'm in
Flashbang into
Denial
robot
versus
ult in
AGG
that.
Gibraltar. I went like way down the list.
Hello?
Shooting Zarya. Shoot Anna, actually.
I don't know why the FPS is so. Oh, I think this is before I got my graphics card switched. Let me see the very bottom. Yeah, because I had a really bad graphics card before.
Is it gonna be good teams on COF? That's the question because.
Good
Oh
team.
yeah, they
Yeah.
argue too. It's fucking funny. I'm like recording at 40 FPS. Why are they?
Yeah, I'm seeing there also
Zarya's up. Oh, they
first
are.
person as well. Later on.
Oh, I think the last videos I didn't put the
Represent.
date on.
Find the
Are
Zarya
those
team.
even in order of when they were uploaded?
It's
What date is this one? October 15th. Yeah, this one. Those last videos are.
All good now.
Cause I thought I saw November somewhere on here. Yeah, November. Oh, so the top of the list is more recent.
Reaper's on my left.
October, November. Yeah, what the fuck?
Trying to break our shield.
I'm gonna go, yeah.
Well, I thought these were better, but they're not
I'm asleep.
really.
Oh.
This is like 30 FPS. What the
Just
fuck?
Just wait, just wait.
Okay, never mind. I thought these were better.
Hanzo IT.
Back, come on.
So that's you.
Dab again.
None of these are at least 60 FPS.
Already?
Yep. No.
Okay,
Oh,
too late.
cool.
Lock the window.
Genji's on me.
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to float under you.
We collapse on Kurt.
They use Zarya bubble. Let's
Oh,
go.
this one's
There's
not too
collapse on.
bad.
There's only Ryan.
I have res.
Thing out.
I have to rate this. I have to rate this.
Yeah, Rose. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? The
Anybody
collapse
else gonna
on?
die?
There's Denial versus Selfless on
shattered.
Dorado. That's not
I'm
too
there.
bad.
I don't-
It's not the best global spectating. It was also my first time like
Well,
doing this
that's
shit.
fine. I think it'll also be in a different meta as well. So
Oh, you're right.
it'll be on a
This
different
is right.
patch. So
Yeah, this was like last year. Okay, never mind too, because then that would be hard to
I'm
like color with.
be like all in the triple res.
Oh, the triple. I totally forgot. Oh my god. Yeah, we just gotta go and like coach some team or manage some teams where we can like record their VODs and secretly share them to the caster group.
No, I mean it's actually. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't get any pings. Actually, I think this is not a common scrim time, anyways. So I'll just fill up the calendar and make sure I grab people's battle nets. I'll send this guy a frowny face. That he
Frowny
knows.
face.
I sent him a frowny face so he knows
You are blacklisted.
exactly.
Okay, let's do this next video. Sorry,
Okay,
I
that's fine.
had an idea. I was like, oh my god, I have VODs of like a year ago.
So I'm gonna play it a little bit and make sure my my quality is up. Wow, that is loud
Welcome to
too.
Junkertown.
Yeah, I definitely boosted the audio a bit second time. Oh, Junkertown. Okay. Cool. So
Ooh.
I'm at 0.
This is Bastion Comp. Nice. Okay. Okay, I'm
This is
at
gonna
0.
be fun. Want to just call it blue team, red team? Because these names are stupid. I'm sorry.
Frankfurt. Oh yeah, I've been saying blue and red, but
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna strictly just say team, blue team, red team.
Yeah, I feel also that I'm like saying the team colors more because I can't read the player names because it's either like all mixed up or hard to see in the quality sometimes. So I might repeat that quite a bit, but
That's fine. Is it not readable? The
no, it's okay.
okay. Yeah, just make sure what you should do is like have your quality up and then like 720/60 is what it actually is. You can even do it 1080. It's just gonna end up the same. And like play a little bit of the video, and then I think it should be good to go.
Okay, I'm at 0 and ever.
Okay. All right, hey. So on 1, 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Welcome to Junkertown.
Alrighty, guys, we're moving on to the next games. We had to reset, had some more people in the lobby, so ready to go again. We'll have blue team versus red team here on Junkertown.
Oh, come on, give me the
Is it not-
video.
Is it not working?
Oh, there's just a lot of fill or black screen.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
big.
I'm at 26, 27, 28,
Yeah, me too.
29, 30.
I
Is it
just
not
have
showing
to-
video?
No, it's just on a forever this scoreboard.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So it really starts, it seems, at 140. So do you want to,
Oh.
we can skip to 140 or something if you want. We have 1 minute to talk about.
I mean, we can just wait it out
Yeah,
for
wait
a
it out.
second.
Yeah.
Oh, we actually have people watching this. Haha.
Yeah, he wants to. This guy, I think this is a guy called No One. He participated in our last tournament at the Razor Store. So he's just giving us some suggestions, pointing out the blue team red thing. He likes the spicy names, but
Spicy name.
yeah. That is indeed No One, of course, on the screen. We have coming up. So yeah, what's your read on the meta here on Junkertown? Is it just
From what I've seen from the World Cup, it's a lot of Bastion, Reinhardt, Orisa, Bastion, Torb, Orisa. Like, it's very stationary onto the cart, at least in this first phase, until you might see dive, or they might actually keep the Bastion throughout the whole game. Seen a lot of cheese, though, from the World Cup.
The different thing? What's more interesting is the defense. Do they bring a Bastion as well and try to win the shield war? But it looks like the blue team will opt to not bring a Bastion, looking to do dive instead.
The red team also having the Widow for the long range, which is extremely difficult to deal with because you got to deal with the ground war. And actually, finally, the Bastion goes down, and even the Mercy that was going for the Resurrect goes down as well. As Reinhardt now going to be heavily staggered, goes for the pin. Unlucky. Should have probably charged in the other direction towards the healing spawn, but defense winning that one. And really, what they need to do is not let Cranks on the Bastion set up onto the cart. But if he gets into a nice linear corridor, he should be able to burst down these players.
Yeah, having the shields from both the Orisa and the Reinhardt allow the Bastion to finally get back onto the point very safely, but blue team giving a lot of space as well, and that's because they had a big pulse bomb waiting in the wings, but Snelio looking to try to get a pick here. Needs to find the pick onto Dempsey, and is able to find it. That might be the opening they need, as Tavik is trying to battle with the Bastion, is able to not able to reflect the damage enough.
And they finally have enough time to dive that Widow and make it very annoying for her. And Cranks also has that self-healing, forcing out the Transcendence from the side of blue. He's going to have to back up, but he's got the tank. But Tvik has the Genji Blade. Oh, and he actually goes down, but he's going to get brought back into life. And this is where the Bastion Bomb comes out and gets punched in the face there by Vinny, where defense is actually holding strong against this Bastion composition.
The dive is just making them turn in every direction. Their Shatter will come out, but that might be Tonic just throwing that out because there might be a swap here for the red team.
Reinhardt, Orisa, so now double shields to help out poor little Bastion, who keeps getting targeted and still opting to stay onto the Widow. Of course, she's close to vision, which will be helpful to get through, I guess, the couple buildings or seeing where the defense is setting up. But Mercy pocketing that Bastion and now able to zip-zap around and give some healing. Tvik diving the Widow brings... Oh, the Mercy almost brings him back, but she gets cut down as well.
The Mercy Res has to channel and has to in order for that res to come through. So fortunately there for Tvik, able to kill the Mercy immediately after as a team kill happens. 2 people on the back line just trying to get damage down, but it just took one Tvik on the Genji to be able to take out that duo.
I'm very surprised that the defense has enough time to not only deal with the Widow in the backline, but to prevent Bastion from setting up. And it looks like Cranks abandons the Bastion, goes for the Genji battle, trying to help out a little bit of the backline as Dempsey gets the initial kill there onto Cranks, as Vinny's going to dive the D.Va in the backline.
Now the change coming out, as you mentioned, Tonic now on the Winston to try to bring some more dive, and on the attack, getting rid of that Bastion. Trying to be able to deal with how well blue team is able to work just in these 1-on-1, 2v2 scenarios. Wherever the fight takes them, they're able to take it to the face of the red team.
Transcendence ready also from the side of Boombox, and they actually have both support ultimates and the rest of their ultimates as well. Even Dempsey has the pulse bomb in his back pocket, so Red have nothing really to work with. Even throwing the D.Va bomb into the right side hallway where Red was trying to push, abandons that idea. Now supports going down, have to retreat into the spawn, and Red have had no luck. Oh my god, Finzi says hello to the D.Va bomb, but nonetheless, Red have been creating no distance. Even with ultimates that are being used, they need a composition switch here.
Whose spawn is it anyways? Blue team just standing right outside of the spawn, just wanting to claim it. They can't even get in there again because of the game, but now we have the nano boosted Tonic. Isn't even the game to get onto the point in time. In such a tough situation for red team because of how well blue team is able to defend and again handle those skirmishes no matter where the fight took them.
Switching sides.
That is the most unfortunate offense on Junkertown I've ever seen. Like, just a couple meters earned, they didn't even get halfway. And you would think with the Bastion and heavy shield composition, they tried Reinhardt, Orisa, they've tried Winston, they went from Bastion to Genji. The Widow was always sticking around, which I'm surprised that lasted longer than it did, because she was always getting dove, and even with a Genji or Winston in her face. So would have liked the switch from the Widow onto something more ground damage heavy, something to help their front line, which was what was really struggling, of course, since they made no distance with the payload. But now things are being switched up. We'll see if the return of the Bastion will come back.
Bastion very strong. Very strong here on the offense. As we do see now, it's going to be swapping on the sides. Frankfurt Force, the red team looking to bring the... Okay. Hold on. All right, hold on. I'm...
We tried.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you can keep going.
Dude, actually, so the other person got back to me, and I'm asking them if they're screaming. Nah, we stopped a while back. What?
Bruh. Bruh.
Attackers
See if they have any more today.
30 seconds.
Then we have ESL match in an hour.
All
Alright,
right.
so now yeah, definitely need to add. Ah, this stinks.
Well, let's take a look at the defensive composition. Typical full dive, actually, with the Mercy Zenyatta as your supports, and on the side of Red, opting for a Torb right at the start, knowing how forward the defense is playing with the Orisa and Bastion sort of mirror startup composition from the side of blue that they did in the last run. They're matching it with a Zarya as well to maybe protect the Bastion a little bit more.
Blue team tried to be cheeky on the early defense, just turning the heads of the Bastion there, but the dive was not able to be coordinated enough for the defense to take out the Bastion. You saw Tonic dying as he jump packed away. So now a lot of space being opened up here for the red team. Finzi able to hold these sight lines in order to clear, make sure that there's safe passage for this pirate ship.
It's a very good power position out of the Widow for the pickoffs, either on the top window or the bottom right window, or the bottom right door, I should say, as Tvik is going to have to disengage from the payload and deal with this D.Va in his face. Now into turret mode, just absolutely cuts down both the Genji, oh, he's so close to it. Okay, now finishes him off, and the D.Va as well, but that's going to be Finzi on your kill feed. That gets 3, and Tvik with the 4th.
Finzi unleashed just watching everyone jump onto the Bastion, and it wasn't necessarily the Bastion damage, but it was just the magnet of wanting to kill and getting rid of all that DPS on the field. And now Finzi just was completely uncontested on the backline, able to find the clicks on the heads that was necessary.
Heading into the second phase here of Junkertown. Finzi looking for the initial pick, which has been doing a really great job onto the Widow. Oh, and finds the forehead of Zenyatta. So one support down, should be able to get this pick on the Tracer. Oh, just misses it. Now it's to deal with the D.Va onto the payload, but has to be worrying about this Tracer who can come behind him at any time. But it's going to be Tvik with the Bastion Bomb, finding 4 players, make it 5. Payload halfway to second point.
Again, this is going to be the distraction of the Bastion. The entire team trying to jump on him, but again, Finzi, they sent one Tracer to deal with it, and since Finzi was not able to be killed, Widowmaker was able to still do damage, and Paris Pumas still have time here to contest, and they will jump on the point.
Bastion set up onto the high ground. Oh, Hagel comes in, absorbs all the bullets, able to cut down that player, especially with the mini rockets, but Finzi still looking for this long-range sight, just has to deal with the Genji, and I believe that's just the Genji. And the blade comes out and should be able to cut down all these players, but being pretty much the only person left, the payload is still able to come home, but gets the kills there onto the Widow and the Bastion.
A very tough spot to be at. This is a Genji with the Dragon Blade. Only person on the field either contest or get the kills. Opted to get those kills instead. And maybe even stagger here, but already red team back with those DPS supports behind the shield.
The Bastion setup is complete where the blue side will focus on this high ground, but Arisa actually pulls them off. Dive initiated out of Winston. D.Va a little bit late to the party as Tana goes down early into the fight. Graviton onto the point. Tvik tries to walk away from it, but goes down as now they're going to have to go into this one without Bastion. Actually, no. Mercy to the rescue. Brings back that player.
Oh, the late frag on the Snilio. Boombox is doing Boombox things on the Zenyatta, who we know his name so well, and that res came through for the Bastion as well. Tvik back up, and even though they got the pick, they put so many resources into killing Tvik, and then all that work was undone by the Mercy.
Tvik has not had any room to set up and always has to deal with the enemy D.Va. And now the Lucio into its face goes into full tank mode. Should be able to get the kill out of Lucio. The Transcendence not able to save that player. Also D-Nex the D.Va and Baby D.Va should be able to get the kill onto Winston as well. Gets Cranks. As Bastion has been absolute devastation, and what the enemy team needs to do is prevent him from setting up, reflect the bullets, and do their usual dive, but not let him go into tank mode like that.
Blue team doesn't have any ultimates to work with, and they're just going to be able to send in Heiko, but there's going to be the attacked visor already on this upper ground, as well as the Bastion on this spinny wheel, and it looks like they need to either contest the point or deal with the DPS, a tough position to be on the defense.
And they've got not only Tvik onto the high ground, they also got a Soldier onto the long range. Sound Bear for Team Blue, because they're going to have to dive this Bastion player who actually goes down, but the Mercy, I actually know they switched off the Mercy onto Morris, so not having that resurrect ability. Or actually, no, I'm looking at the wrong team, but blue team not having a Mercy prevents them to have the resurrect, and whole tank mode, cutting down the Bastion, the Genji blade also coming out, and this is fucking confusing the cast over here. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. So much shit.
Blue team able to hold because of the sound barrier and everyone stalling on the point. The damage from the red team was not able to find the kills that they needed while they were perched up on this upper ground. So that was what ultimately did them in, as now on the blue side as well. They still have that pulse bomb, so looking to Snilio to see where that pulse bomb lands and if it can be a stick.
Red team trying to take this high ground here, and Vinny trying to find somebody to dive and preventing Cranks from getting into that backline. Winston initiates the dive and gets cut down so early, which seems to be the common mistake from the defensive side, is sending that Winston over with the D.Va not really there to protect her. The rest of DPS not there to protect. His pulsed up bomb goes down and finds the Mercy. It's exactly the target you need.
Snilio finding the key picks, and now red team has to back up again, despite the fact that Tonic just jumped in and basically gave them a free kill.
Ooh, the final cleanups as Finzi goes down. And the red team, maybe a bit of a composition switch. Dempsey onto the Tracer for the Snillo versus Dempsey battle, as they only have the tag visor, and actually Tvik is probably 2 left clicks away from getting his Genji Blade as well. But now on to only, I believe, a single tank of Vinny with 3 DPS.
Tonic does have on the defending side, has that Primal Rage, and Cranks will go down very early here, so that early pick that normally was the Winston is going to be the Genji instead, as Tavik cuts through 2, is able to get the dash kill as they're trying to contest on the point. A red team looking very strong, moving into last point.
Only 96 meters, a minute and a half left. Ooh, the Genji Blade coming from Tavik only has 30 health, and he gets cut down quickly from someone coming out of the spawn, being a little bit too ambitious with not enough health. And Primal Rage onto the point, as we'll keep an eye on Dempsey, what he can do with 88% close to the pulse bomb. His nose, he's gonna get dove here.
Look at that stagger. Just that under passageway allowed the defensive team to catch up with red team as they're trying to fall back. And now just 1 minute left to go, but they do have 2 big ultimates. Dempsey needs to land a big pulse bomb going into this next one.
Not too much time left, 48 seconds left. This could be the last fight. Oh, Mercy tries to bring back Zenyatta and actually gets shut down there by Tracer. Also, Sinlow finding a kill with the Pulse Bomb, and actually all over your kill feed is the blue team, as they still have a Sound Barrier and the Genji Blade from Cranks. So blue currently in the advantage with the amount of ultimates they have with 30 seconds remaining. Red at least went down all at once and early enough that they can initiate this one last time.
Uh-oh, that's going to be the Subject Shock put up in the corner. It looks like it was very big there, but Transcendent comes out before the Dragon Blade of Cranks, so Cranks here has a prime position, an opportunity to be able to use that, but on the backside, Vin is on the point and pushing it as blue team are wiping it out, but can they get back in time to contest?
I don't believe so. There's still 2 people in the cart. Finally, it does get contested. Battles are happening in the backline. Onto the payload. Trades going back and forth. We're going to keep an eye here on Fincy. Oh, as the Genji Blade gets popped out, but with not enough health, he's only able to find a kill onto Sinlow. So now the Diva here, we're looking at Fincy, who has the Diva, or the self-destruct in her back pocket. Opting to either have a second life, but here pops it just to create distance, and the payload finally makes it to the 3rd point.
Red team with the big reply, able to win. They lose the battle on the back line, but win it on the front line where it mattered most. Okay. Man, yeah, I remember observing that, and it was really terrible.
Chaotic.
Because it was like, I was trying to do... Yeah, it was like exiting me out of the first-person view at random points. It like detected... Maybe accidentally touched my controller, and then it just was delayed, so it didn't feel like I actually did it. Okay.
No, it's okay. I just,
yeah.
I should be able to adapt if, you know, spectator mode goes all fucked up like that.
Yeah. So I'm always constantly like looking at, screen and then ultimates as well. And I heard you were talking definitely a lot more about the ultimates, and I think we were able to set up plays better for that game. Okay, so let's see here. There is, where are we at now? So game really starts at 17:56. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe any quick notes. How do you feel it's going? I know it's
Oh
challenging,
god,
but...
it's I just didn't know what to say half the time. I don't know what I'm saying, and I'm not able to build hype because I don't see it. Like, I was able to have some moments with the graviton, but like, I don't know. I can't build hype in first person.
This
like
is also, I mean, all things considered, these games don't have any huge moments where it's not as big as some super competitive games where the teams are really coordinated. It's definitely a lot more scrappy where there are fights happening all over. So
yeah, I don't know, anything you can think of. Am I saying something too much? Or I know have no hype. Absolutely, I have no idea what I'm saying. So it's hard to critique.
maybe one thing let's work on for this next thing is after moving into something like a last push. Should definitely try to raise the tension, so that way it's easier. So to build the energy more, especially in the last minute, right? And if we're bouncing to analysis, like it should be like talking about how close that situation was, or did they just get completely blown out of the water? So yeah, maybe just going into last moments where they should have won, to somehow make that known in our tone as well as what we're saying.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers.
All right, well, red team will be taking first stab at this. We are on Hollywood, the hybrid map. to bringing in the death ball composition, and we'll see some more Moira on the attack as well as the defense.
Pretty mirror composition as well, except of the Orisa and the Roadhog from the defensive side, with the Reinhardt and Zarya full shield comp from the offensive, where the Reinhardt goes down extremely early into the team fight, so most likely having to reset, or unless they want to go towards the left side with only a Zarya. Doesn't seem so, as Snillo needs to get out of this fight, loses that to Dempsey, so not only losing their DPS, but Reinhardt also late to the party.
Even though that shield has lower health for the Orisa, it can get replaced more often, but then also on the defense, you have more angles of attack, and you can let the team move into you, as already blue team building up much quicker on the ultimates, and Boombox already has that coalescence, as the rest of the red team has to wait for Cranks to come back before they decide to move up. And look how far up blue team is.
Yeah, they're playing really forward, and also that T-Vic could actually punish them for this sort of positioning by having this tire, but they should be able to see the tire coming. He doesn't have any sneaky spots he can really go for, so looking for the coalescence out of Mini Kunga at any time, going around this corner for not only the sustained healing, but the damage as well, and here it comes.
Bullets from both sides. Reinhardt finds a big Earth Starter, but the rest of the team isn't able to be pushed up because of Dempsey on the upper ground with Attack Visor. Gets taken out by Cranks late in the game, but will go down himself to Tavik.
Another reset from the side of red. Close to the Graviton, however, is Heiko's only at 81%. We saw the Earth Shatter from Tonic earlier, not able to make as much of an impact as we had hoped, and blue are playing extremely forward, are now inching themselves every team fight they win. They just inch themselves closer to the enemy red spawn, where they could be punishing them forward, as Cranks will actually not really, has another 25% to go for the tire, but Snella with attack, as soon as the shields go down, should be able to take advantage here.
Snilio doing a nice flank to be able to make sure that the rest of the defensive team does push back onto the point themselves. And now the Reinhardt shield is pretty healthy moving into this, but they need to burn down the Orisa shield in order to find the damage. They need to open it up for Snilio to use the Attack Visor.
Oh, the Transcendence being forced out of the side of blue, and also Tonic looking for the pin. It actually, he didn't pin anybody here, but he's going after the supports. T-Vic also with the tire finds the Zarya. So this is trades going back and forth as ultimates being earned from the side of blue. It should be a full reset out of red. As Cranks needs to get out of the situation alive and could actually win that against the Roadhog. But gets cut down there by Dempsey on the long range battle.
Oh boy, Dempsey finding 2 key picks for the blue team on the defense. Even though the ultimates are equal, we're seeing the ultimates be a lot more useful for the defenses. Paris Pumas, or the red team, having to be run around, and this Reinhardt shield just not surviving long enough. And now it is 1 minute left to go. Red team need to be able to use these ultimate more effectively.
Looking for a combination of Graviton with the tire, or even a Graviton with maybe Attack Visor if they're able to cut down the shield early enough. As they're making their way around the corner, even the Coalescence coming from Mini Congo combined with the Attack Visor, cutting down all these shields, making their way onto the point. Only 30 seconds remaining. Hearing now the tire come out from Cranks. Is he able to find a kill? And it does onto Morris. So advantage for Team Red as they got the numbers. Can they get the cap here on time?
Dempsey finally goes down on the upper ground. The last person alive, but was the biggest thorn in their side. And it looks like Red Team will be able to finish this as they're now chasing the Hog all the way back to his own spawn and sending him back to the spawn in the quick way.
Yeah, the 1v1 exchange out of both teams, and I mean, that's really favoring the team onto the payload as T-Vic. Ooh, gets a nice kill there onto Snillo, but at least Moore is able to make that a 1-on-1 exchange. Heading back onto the point, however, there was really only 30 seconds remaining for them to cap, so now in a little bit of a time crunch, 2.5 minutes left. This looks like blue team might set up here on the high ground with at least Snillo on the high ground, looking for a nice place to have that Attack Visor. Or sorry, that's Dempsey on the high ground. But Snillo is on the low ground, but he'll look for Attack Visor.
Darren Echo looking to hold on to this Transcendence. We've seen Transcendence be most useful when they're made at the perfect moment and when they have that patience and not being drawn out too early. And Moira, that's going to be the Transcendence now. So now Red Team needs to be able to find more kills, and they are pushing very quickly.
Also Coalescence out of Mini Kunga, and also able to throw those damage orbs out into the high ground. At least assist sort of the dive, and now the Attack Visor, I believe from Dempsey on the high ground. Coalescence trying to save these members, but it's not going to be enough. T-Vic finally goes down. Or no, I don't know who's down. Finally he goes down.
Red team a trade of ultimates from both sides as they will both be left with one. But Ilka has the Transcendence and so can contest very strongly on this point. But again, a Graviton Surge could be the answer for the red team to be able to push forward, but they need something to combo it with, and are still behind on those DPS ultimates, the Pulse Bomb and the Dragon Blade together.
Yeah, and Cranks and Snillo are playing really forward for the offense, maybe try and hold those choke point doors. Even the Zarya, having that Graviton, is waiting for all of them to flood out on either side, playing extremely hidden. Actually gets it right onto the wall, pairing it with most likely Cranks' Genji Blade. No, not even needing that, as the rest are just going to burst them down, having to deal with now the D.Va and the Tracer left from the side of blue, as the payload should be able to make it home.
Red team with a huge Graviton to keep everyone at the choke point, and you can't even avoid that. That's put on the opposite side of the wall, so you can't even see the Zarya waiting there, but they knew that that was going to be the door they came through as Tonic looks to push up here and trying to get a late pick on Tavik. That would be absolutely huge because he has the Dragon Blade in his pocket, would open up Cranks to be able to use Dragon Blade of his own.
Yeah, don't want to be too ambitious now. You hear a Genji Blade coming from Tavik, trying to cut down these players, but now even the Coalescence from Mini Kunga to try and counter it, or at least provide healing and not only damage. And we're seeing all kinds of ultimates come out from both sides, but it's going to be Red making the distance, and Cranks leading the way with the Genji Blade.
That's the better Genji Blade. He's able to find the kills and now getting staggered on the point, but this D.Va is killing more time. The blue team will be able to get back to the point, or at least set up one more defense, but now it's pushing quickly 3 on the point while uncontested.
Heiko now playing really forward to see sort of what positioning, or if there's any sort of hero composition switches. Heads back, also taking a little bit of damage, giving a little bit extra charge to their support players, where they're going to go into this with the Transcendence. Actually gets popped from the red side, now completely occupying this final field for the final point as D.Va Bomb goes down, self-destruct, even Graviton, where Heiko should be able to find some couple kills, and even Snillo combines that with the Pulse Bomb.
Heiko now on the back line. This Zarya is so charged. He's able to do so much damage, but goes down to Tavik, who is now on the Soldier. They have that more consistent damage, and now here comes the Transcendence. In order to keep everyone topped up on the point, there's no insta-kills for the red team, and so now 20 seconds left to go. This might be the defense hold here, but now they even have the Primal Rage from Tonic.
Oh, he's gonna push everybody back into the spawn, even gets the kill there on one of the support players. 8 seconds remain, they have no time to waste. As now they have to actually disengage, get a little bit more healing, as the players that are playing forward don't even have much health, as the backline is also gonna get contested.
Yeah, but they're flooding the point now. Red team now onto the backline. Snilio, we've seen how well Snilio can track, but now it is just too much. Just too many targets in order to distribute that DPS, and they're all staying topped off. And Heiko on the backline trying to make something happen, but unfortunately not able to contest from that position. Widowmaker goes down even at the end. 2 points still in a good push, but time for the blue team. They'll be able to respond and have a win condition of just finishing the map.
Yeah, the offensive team were just in a time crunch. It's not really they were making too many mistakes, just not maybe playing as aggressive enough as they should be when you don't have as much time in your favor. Of course, you know, they were 2.5 minutes to just get to second point, and then after that, it's taken a little bit of a time to get through the initial push of that third phase, and having to switch to the Widow would have been a good pick if you had the time to waste to focus on getting those picks, and if you had a frontline that was able to self-sustain and push forward. But with the Mora and the Zenyatta, I don't know if it was a lack of healing, but I felt like every time they went in, they were lacking so much health to be able to continue the fight, and either going down early or having to disengage so many times cost them a lot of time to get to the third point.
I forget if they get this player in. Do they just play a person down? No, they come in eventually.
They come in eventually.
They come in eventually. And they will need it because on the attack, and with that clear win condition, just finishing the map, to be able to win this map on Hollywood.
I'm sorry, I'm just turning my fan on.
Okay.
I'm back. No, I don't know if I'm improving. I feel like this is
I think
getting worse.
I definitely want to go back in this match because I think there's spots that even if we're not catching things that can be hype as well, like through the last push.
I can't find anything hype, or at least like it's
I think
watching
we
not
should
the
definitely
person I
review.
want to watch. So it's like we're watching, like, let's say Zenyatta on the back line, where I'd want to watch like the battle going on to the front line, where I would hype it up, you know. So it's
Yeah, understood.
I get confused when I'm like not watching the person I want to watch, and I'm like trying to talk about somebody else, and it's like hard.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's-
No, it's fine. I mean, again, it's whether something that we want to work on or not. And so, you know, it's definitely not optimal here if you're not used to doing the first-person casting. Yeah, and probably not looking at, and exactly like you said, not looking at the places where you want to go. Already see red side here having more success with the Reinhardt. The Orisa was very strong, but now it's more about the angles here, as the red team will be pushing in very much and holding Finzi to the side and staggering them quite a bit.
And into the first team fight, Blue realized, I'm not sure if this is the composition they want to go with, or looking how forward and aggressive Red are playing. They need to match that playstyle exactly. Now Tvik onto the Junkrat should be able to spam them, or at least get either the shields down or push them farther back onto the point where they should be.
But they are making their way back, and they have a lot of ultimates to their name. More efficient here, but they are going to be brought up together with the Graviton, and that Coalescence goes down in the middle of it as well, not able to heal anyone together, as Tonic is just given front line and able to find the hammer, and Tvik just trying to get away here with escape with his life. Looks like he will do so.
And can you believe that Heiko already had a Graviton after the first team fight? Like, just playing absolutely amazingly. Even the Earthshatter, everybody else on Team Red has their ultimates ready, and on the side of Blue, they're going to look at maybe Dempsey, see if he can get a lucky position in the backline, but it's going to be actually Team Red. Snillo gets into the backline, activates the attack visor, forces out the Transcendence, and even the Earthshatter fails, but the Graviton from Red should be able to get them a few kills as the pin goes in from the Blue Reinhardt here, and they should be able to get the point off of this, punishing Red for playing how forward they were.
They have a lot of stall opportunity for the side of the red team on the defense, but both tanks are up. That's going to be the Zarya going down to Minikunga on the Moira, who has such big 1v1 potential. And look here, they're not able to even get a lot of capture point because they tried to finalize on those kills, but pursuing a little bit too far possibly. But big Earthshatter could be coming up here for Blue, but no, he will go down as Tvik takes out 2 with a tire.
Oh, going for the pin was not enough. Tvik trying to even up the numbers, but there is not enough members onto the point here. Dempsey's gonna have to retreat and go for the health pack, and Blue going for the full reset, but hello! Tonic goes for a lucky pin, and Zarya with the shield saves that member, as Blue looking to engage again.
Only 60 seconds left to go. The attacking team only have the Coalescence to work with from Boombox, but they need to be able to keep the distance. That Graviton could keep the team grouped up together, and it is on the point.
The shield should be able to save them, but the Reinhardt is so low. Warren needs to focus on healing everybody. And they win that fight with the lucky pulse bomb from Dempsey, finding Snilla, and also the Ana. Tvik finishing off the Reinhardt, wins them the gunfight, or I guess the ultimate team fight. And they secure themselves the payload.
Escort the payload.
It's very fortunate positioning for the Moira. Minikunga able to use the Coalescence and was actually put in the position behind. So even though they're all pulled together, positionally was behind the rest of the team. So able to get a lot of effectiveness from the Coalescence. But Blue team here having to fight off very early defense, very forward defense from the red team.
Oh my god, Tvik with the triple tire! Complete team wipe and devastation from Blue, as they're able to finally get some distance at the beginning of this payload or hybrid map. So you can see how forward everybody's playing to already race to the front doors and prevent them from going in. And look how forward Dempsey is playing as well.
Finzi has a big Graviton surge, and we've seen Gravitons really flip these fights on their head when they're positioned so well. And again, with the pro play, able to position, put it in a really good spot and be able to tie them up together. Both supports getting tied up there from the rest of the fight. They're able to make sure that those go down very quickly. Finzi will go down, but the rest of the team looks to be able to clean up.
Ooh, the double pulse bomb from Dempsey, cutting down 2 of those players. Snilla now on the high ground, trying to find some targets with his tack visor. The Coalescence is gonna damage him. He's not really gonna be able to find much with the Reinhardt shield being up in his face. As blue team making some distance onto low. Earth Shatter coming in, finds one of the supports, should be able to find more as well, and even the lucky Fire Strike cuts down Cranks on the Genji as the payload is coming home.
Yeah, these tanks are making way for the rest of the team to push in. You see two defensive ultimates, the two tank ultimates used to lock up both supports, but when those supports are down, the rest of the team doesn't have the sustain, and this is a very, very big momentum shift here. Blue team looking to get even more picks. Cranks goes down again, and even this Ana looks to go down too.
The supports are having a really tough time against the flankers, or even the just having a hard time in general. Before it was the Graviton, then it was the Reinhardt pinning them, and without the healing, Red are really collapsing and struggling in these team fights as the coalescence comes from Mora. Not enough to save their diva out of mech. Sfinzy having to disengage here.
They do get a couple picks, but the point is still moving, so very worth for the blue team if they can get out with their lives right now. No more kills. Any more kills would be costly to them, as 2 minutes is a lot to work with, but again, it is about the momentum. It's about using your ultimates in a position where you know you can win the fight, and if you use your ultimates more than the opposite team on the defense, then you will start to stack a disadvantage against you, so they need to be effective here.
Of course, full dive should be underway, and now you can see how aggressive Red are playing and actually playing onto the payload rather than into the spawn. Primal Rage being activated, forcing the Transcendence out of blue. As Diva Bomb going to self-destruct onto the point, finds the enemy Diva, and even the attack visor out of T-Vic. So blue looking good so far, and even the coalescence coming out of Boombox comes out now.
All the ultimates have been used by blue team, and this is going to be the Dragon Blade coming out from Cranks, but he is able to find, yes, this is the kills here, and this is the point where blue team needed to be able to finish, as the ultimates now were down for them. Dempsey is the only one with the Pulse Bomb here. Has to pull off a miracle if they want to win on this push, but likely will go down.
Payload is so close to being secured, and I don't know what to say. I'm out of ideas.
Let's talk about now this is swap though. Boombox was on support earlier, now on to the Widowmaker, narrowly dodging out the blade, and so you can see here they're able to fight against these flankers, but that is a big self-destruct kill. Vin with going down with the shield, and the rest of the team will have to fight as the Diva is not even in a mech.
Yeah, Boombox switching onto the Widow, providing those long-range picks as long as they're able to sustain the damage actually on the point. Finzy needs to get back into mech, but the Coalescence cuts her down, and I guess she thought that she wouldn't be able to get back into mech and tries to fight that as Baby Diva. Unfortunately, misplay out of that. Goes down as we look at 12 seconds. Vinny just waiting for a little bit more time, and he should be able to jump and trigger the overtime as T-Vic will be here to assist him. But look at the positioning out of Red, one onto the point, all of them spread out, and even players from Red, that's going to be Cranks, I believe, damaging their backline.
Yeah, Vin is losing health faster than he can be healed up and goes down as well as Dempsey does final crucial kill, gets a trade kill onto Tonic, and Cranks will fall. But Dempsey still caught up in this backline. They're just trying to deal with the backline, but they have the contest here on the point. As Finzy is able to get right into the mech as the self-destruct happens, but we'll lose the mech immediately as two people go down to the self-destruct on the red team.
Transcendence from blue also onto the point finally dwindles down as T-Vic going huge onto the soldier, gets Doe 40 health, and Snow is going to be the one that cuts him down onto the Tracer, where the Pulse Bomb, he's close to that, and Primal Rage is not enough to keep the overtime going.
Noise.
Play of the game.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, what's up? Are you down to do you want to look it over? Do you have time now, or?
Yeah, I have time, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna